And guys, as Susan said in the beginning, we have a very, very special guest here. And she is from Canada, Toronto, and her name is Francine. And she has taken the Thinking into Results program. Welcome, Francine.
Hello, Ingrid. It's great to be here. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. I thought I would just let you talk freely about thinking into results, who you are, where you're from, how life changed for you, and how you made that decision. So the floor is yours, Francine.
Oh, oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. I'm just honored to be here. I'm honored to be able to share this with everyone who's listening right now and everyone who's contemplating making a decision about this program because I've been there and I get it and I totally understand. And so, just a little bit about me. My name is Francine, as you mentioned, Ignard. And I am the CEO and director of my own company now called Simplified with Francine. And I do tech setup for people who are course creators and things like that. So Ingrid and I have worked together on those types of projects. And we've also worked together in the space of thinking into results. And so to talk about thinking into results very specifically, what I can say is it is scary to make that decision. I remember it clearly as I possibly can. I made the decision to take the program. It would have been now. I keep missing a couple of years with all this COVID stuff, but I think it's been almost 4 years now since I decided to take the program. I'm actually going through it for the third time for myself right now. And I decided to take that program and make that investment at a time when I was, I just knew that there was more. I knew that there was more out there for me. I had a deep desire on the inside of myself. And I know you all can resonate with this because we all have this. We all have something on the inside of us that wants us to be more, do more, expand who we are, fully express who we are. And and that translates into your personal life and your professional life. And I know that, I was working a job and I wanted to turn that job into a business. Or, maybe you're somebody who's working a job and you love what you do, but you just want better results. You want better results in your personal life. You want better results in your professional life. You want, the dream executive style home or the pool or a great partnership and deeper, more meaningful relationships or better health. It literally will transform every area of your life. And so all you have to do is be brave enough to make the decision to go for it. And I know that when I made that decision, I didn't have the money and I didn't know where it was going to come from and I didn't know how this was all going to happen, but it didn't stop me from really allowing myself to express who I was on the inside. And I just knew that I had to find out about this because I couldn't go through my life always wondering, what if I had just? What if I had just done something and invested something into my own self that I knew would give me the roadmap to help me achieve all of those goals that I talked about earlier, the home, the business, whether it's results in your current profession or you're looking to make a move, you need a roadmap, you need some help to get you there and you need somebody such as Ingrid to guide you through those steps. Because as she was kind of touching on some different things, there are laws that govern our success. There are laws by which we are created and we are in this universe, this physical space and this spiritual space. There's laws that govern the way that we live. And unless you know what those laws are and you're able to sort of work with the laws and understand how to put that all together, it's like, my mentor used to always say to me, if you break the law, you lose. And it's true. So once you know what the laws are and you understand the science of goal achieving and you understand the steps that it takes to get from point A to point B, oh my gosh, it just makes everything so much easier, so much more exciting. And you can literally transform your entire life. And I know that sounds like a cliche. I know what it sounds like. I remember listening to that, but it is the absolute truth. And, mentoring with somebody like Ingrid is just going to transform everything for you. And so, sorry to go back to that decision. I knew I had to make that decision. I didn't have the money. I didn't know where it was going to come from, but I decided that this is what I really wanted to do and I needed to see about it. So I made the decision and everything started to come together. So at that time, I was working with this app company, and just to give you a really tangible example of how these things can happen, I was working for an app company and I had already made a sale. So I had sold somebody an app. And we sat down in a meeting about maybe a week after I had made the decision that I wanted to take the program. We sat down in a meeting, and this client of mine decided to start adding all these features to their app. So I was like, oh, wow, okay, that's interesting. And then so what happened is that the sales bill went up because they were adding more features, which shot up my commission, which is how I got the money to pay for thinking into results. And I did it and I took it and off we went, and everything changed from that moment on. And not even from the moment that I started the program, from the moment that I had the courage to say yes to myself and invest in myself, which is such a wild idea when you've never done that before. It really truly is. I mean, I was even like, I even felt like I felt sick to my stomach. Like it, it does that to you, but it's okay. It's normal. It is how, everyone goes through it. And you probably went through it too.
I still go through it because I always make decisions.
Yeah, totally. I do too. Now we're deciding just on different things, and we're moving our company forward, and things are happening. But, if you've got that desire to turn maybe it's your job, maybe you love what you're doing right now and you want to turn that into a business. Maybe it's getting better results at in your current role, or getting a promotion, having deeper relationships, all of that stuff. It is 1,000,000,000% positive, or possible, I mean, for you. You just have to say yes to you. And
Yeah.
you have to do something that you've never done before. If you keep doing the things that you've done, you're just going to keep getting the same results that you've been getting. And I experienced this. I mean, I guess what you'd call like a serial YouTuber, where, I came across Bob's material and I just thought, oh, I can just figure this out myself, and I'm just going to, learn it myself. And I did that for 2 years. And I was able to accomplish within, I think it was 3 months. I superseded my accomplishments within the first 3 months than I had done in that 2 years of like just YouTubing everything I could and trying to figure it out. So what I love, love, love the most about thinking into results is that it really does give you that pattern plan. It's the recipe. It's, even though I was YouTubing and I was getting a piece over here and a piece over there, and different little pieces of what I needed, putting it all together in a really sequential, orderly way so that I could go through it step by step, and understand and really digest the material and really get to understanding it, and not understanding it from an intellectual perspective, but understanding it from an experiential knowledge, which is when you experience something and you start to prove to yourself that this does work and this is the way, and oh, this does make sense, and oh, and the more you apply it, the more it begins to all manifest and work for you. That, to me, is just like you just, I have no words for that. I just feel like that is so key and it's so important, and you'd be doing yourself such a disservice if you don't make the decision to go for it. I mean, make a decision either way. You'll feel so much better. I loved how you were sharing that, Ingrid. Like, you've got to make a decision, because when you do, my gosh, you just clear yourself for the path to bring everything in to your path that you need to make it happen. So don't worry about, if I don't have this yet and this isn't in place and I don't know how I'm going to make it happen. Just envision yourself living the life you really want, going through a program like this that can teach you how to get there in a way that I mean, it will shock and amaze you. You will start to improve all the areas of your life. You will start to improve things that you didn't even think about, because it all works, like your personal life and your professional life are intertwined. So is this. It all works for your good, and you're going to absolutely love the things that you're able to accomplish.
Oh my God, I love it. I just love listening to you. I'm like, take over the show if you want to. I just love it. So I want you to talk a little bit about the community also, and how often, like, how it felt for you to have a community with people, and that it wasn't just sending in a task, it was actually you got to talk to your coach. It was a relationship. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So, just a contrast, I guess, from before and then having that community and that support and that relationship with your mentor. When I was doing it kind of all on my own and just YouTubing, you're kind of isolated in this sort of little world of your own, if you will. And that's okay for a certain amount of time. But what you quickly realize is that when we talk about, circumstances and your environment and everything that you can see that's around you, chances are you're not necessarily going to be in a super supportive environment. And so, in the beginning, when I had these ideas and I really wanted to do this and I really wanted to take this program, I didn't tell anybody because I just thought, oh my gosh, I don't know what my husband's going to think. And I don't know about this, the person and that person. And I just don't know. So I kind of kept it to myself. But then after a while, you tend to feel a little isolated. So I think that what I did was I started to envision that my husband would be totally supportive and that he would be really excited and really happy for me. And then I just started to think about, okay, so beyond that, beyond my immediate sort of environment, I'm going to be put into a group of people who are super supportive. So now, because sometimes family and stuff, they don't understand what you're doing, and that's okay. They don't need to understand all of that. My husband, he's just along for the ride. He doesn't immerse himself into this material the way that I do, and I don't shove it down his throat or try to teach him stuff or do. I don't do any of that. I just be. I
Mm.
be fully who I am, and he just comes along for the ride. He loves it. He loves it. Like, he loves the changes that he's seeing because they're all positive things. And I'm becoming more of who I am. So, when it comes to spouse or family relationships and things like that, don't even worry about it. It'll take care of itself. I promise you. So just keep envisioning what you really, really want and know that when you have these conversations, and it's going to be scary, but when you have them and you stretch yourself out just a little bit like that, you're going to get the support that you need. You're going to be able to move forward. And then the kicker, you're going to come into a program like this and then be surrounded by like-minded people, which what a, you know, breath of fresh air that is. Because for the first time in your life, you can speak freely about who you really want to be, what you really want to accomplish. Nobody's going to look at you like you've got two heads. They're going to support you. They're going to give you ideas about how to move those plans forward. It becomes this community. And I'll never forget walking into one of the first events that I ever went to, when I worked on the inside of the Proctor Gallagher Institute as an executive assistant, and that was the C-type goal at the time. And so one of the events that I walked into, I'll never forget being in a room of people, and the energy was so good, and everyone was supporting one another, and they were sharing ideas about how to get from point A to point B. They truly listened to each other. And our goals aren't the same, but we sit and we really listen, and we invest our energy in each other in the sense that, like, we're sharing ideas and helping each other forward. And I mean, you can't find that when you go out sort of into the regular world because most people aren't really into this type of material. So having that community support is sort of like creating the environment that you really need to support you along so that you don't kind of fall back into old patterns and old thinking. You're going to be able to move forward. So it becomes crucial, I think, to your development, to your moving forward. I mean, yeah, you can do it alone, but I promise you that road is longer and it's a lot more lonely. You may as well have fun while you're here and align yourself with people, who like, I mean, the relationships that you're going to build just from that alone are going to be so deep and so meaningful. I've made like this the most incredible friendships. Ingrid, you being one of them. It's incredible. So yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. And that goes back to like, it's got to be fun and you got to desire your goal and you have to have fun on the way. I love it. Oh my God, Francine, thank you for coming on. And it's so fun to see you every time because you're growing. And like, let me tell you, this woman is, yeah. How much did you make this year, by the way? Or last year? You reached your goal? You know,
Yeah, so I started out last year. It was my first year in my own company, my own business. We surpassed six figures for our first year. And and every time if I have a low day or I have a day where I'm just like, I don't know, should I really be doing this? Is this really a good idea? Because listen, I don't mind sharing. I've got 40 years of a paradigm, that's been built, and I understand the work that's involved in doing it. And you have thoughts like that come up. We are human. We are normal. We are people just wanting to achieve more and do more with our lives, but we're not different than any of the other huge successes out there. The only difference is that we are ourselves, and we're totally allowed to be that, and take the road that we want to take. But anyways, when you have days like that, and I'm like, wait a minute, I turned my annual income, I tripled it in my first year. And that to me is like, it's a huge success. And now this year we're moving to seven figures this year, and we're well on our way. And so, it gets so exciting, and it gets so good when you fully allow yourself to express who you are. I mean, don't be afraid to take that leap, to start thinking about whether or not, the work that you do right now you love. Listen, you're going to be spending your days doing work, and earning a living, if you will, doing something. So you may as well love what it is that you do. If you don't love it, find out what you do love. You can turn that into a business, or you can work for somebody else and have incredible results and have an incredible income doing what you love. Because when you're in that vibration, and when you're in that space where you're doing something that's meaningful and that you actually really love to do, the money follows. And that is a law that you will learn in thinking into results. That is something that you'll dive into, and it will change your entire life. And then you'll start enjoying your days. Like, who doesn't want that?
Oh my God, I love your energy. I'm like, oh, Francine, do you guys feel her vibrational level when she talks about her desire, what she has done, what she has achieved? It's impossible to not feel it's it just makes you so happy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you, Francine, for coming on and sharing this with the community, with the people here. Yes, 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 Leona. Yes, Francine rocks. Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, amazing person. She is
Yeah,
so
and if anyone has any questions that they want to ask specific, just pop them in the Facebook group chat. I'll go on there after the call, and I'm happy to just sort of answer anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Whatever questions you have. If you have anything that you're wondering about, or that you're curious about, whether it's, about the program or personal development or anything, just pop them in there, and like I said, I'm happy to answer anything that your audience wants to know about or is curious about. I just, yeah, I'd love to see them all succeed, all to be doing what they really want to be doing. That's where it's at. And my gosh, our life, I mean, it's like we get one bite at the apple, and it's too precious to
yeah.
not really take hold of for ourselves.
I agree. I agree. Oh, thank you, Francine. I love you so much. Thank you for speaking to my beautiful audience. And thank you for, I'm so blessed that I know you.
Me
But
too. I feel the same way, Ingrid.
anyhow, I'm going to let